Hi, today I'm going to talk about the story behind Habethy Films. So filmmaking is often romanticized, big visions, epic stories, and a dream of a standing ovation. But what they don't tell you about is the spreadsheets and the daily work and the on-set work that is required, or the sleepless nights trying to figure out where your next fundraising investor is going to come from. So here's the truth. Films are not the end goal, they are the byproduct. The result of showing up every day, learning in progress, and building the skills to let you finish the job. And that's the real story behind our film production company, Habethy Films. When we started Habethy Films, we didn't know exactly what we were doing. We had some filmmaking experience, we had worked in the industry, and we had written a screenplay for 13 Miles. We just knew we wanted to tell good stories, and we just happened to be from Canada. So it wasn't just for some grand patriotic statement. It was because Canadian stories and Canadian storytellers are rich, layered, and often very untapped. And here's the kicker. Telling those stories isn't the main thing that I've gained. The real value has been the work, learning how to make these films, learning how to produce them, learning how to put the projects together, learning how to pitch, learning how to manage teams, learning how to stay creative, and learning how to express creativity within a practical logistical framework of making a movie. Movie business is a very unique kind of business, and if you ask anybody who's worked in the movie business, they say your return on investment has to be more than just the money side of things. Your return on investment has to be the real, like the joy in making films. And whether that's working for a studio or working independently, ultimately in the end, that has to be the joy of what you're doing. And you have to really get into enjoying the process. I talk to so many filmmakers who resent the idea that they have to work in the movie business as a business. And I think that's actually part of the really great aspect of making movies, is that there's a very large component that is craft and artistic related. You involve a lot of different artists from a lot of different backgrounds in order to come together to create this story, to tell a story. And there's a business aspect to it. It costs money to hire those people. And everybody wants to gain employment through this. But also you have people who put the money in who want to see some kind of a return. People who invest, people who sponsor, they want to see some kind of a financial return, but also a legacy return on what they've done. So this has been the real value in creating a movie production company, has been coming to that realization that the best types of films are the ones that can merge that creativity and the business aspects of things. And the end result is that the movie is really just the receipt for the work and the skills that we build along the way. So just a few lessons. One, start before you're ready. When we started Habethy Films, there was no real grand plan. We just had ideas, and we had a willingness to make mistakes and to take some risks. Our first feature, 13 Miles, taught us more about keeping a production lean than anything else. It wasn't glamorous, but it worked. And the takeaway, if you wait until you're ready, you'll never start. Because progress comes from just taking action, not from preparation. The third lesson is to build systems, not just stories. Becoming a movie business and becoming a movie production studio, even at the independent level, is about creating systems that will evolve as we grow. Filmmaking is no different. Right now, it's a two-person team with some contracted work that we hire out occasionally. As we grow, we're developing the process and the systems that we're going to use to make more and more and more films. This is about building that process that supports creativity while remaining practical. And for me, that looks like breaking big goals into small goals, just like any company. Creating repeatable steps over and over so it gets easier and easier each time. Documenting what works, what doesn't, and just trying to improve and get better next time. And then staying disciplined enough to manage the chaos of production while developing new projects. Without a system, making films feels like juggling grenades. With one, it's just juggling, slightly less dangerous. So why Canadian stories? Well, because it's also not what people expect. There's a Hollywood system, there's a lot of great foreign films. I believe that Canada has the potential for market-driven films. And I think that movies like Quiet Canadians, even 13 Miles, and some of our upcoming projects that we're working on all are driven not just to create good stories and interesting art, but to find audiences, to have market potential The Quiet Canadians is a great example of this. It's a spy thriller set against the Canadian landscape. It's about loyalty and betrayal, but through a very uniquely Canadian lens. That's what makes it interesting. The more specific the story, the more universally it will connect. We really want to make films that have audiences. So this is the result of showing up every day, learning by doing, and figuring out on the way. And if you're a filmmaker or an independent or just working in the industry or just someone who working on a big creative project, here's what I've learned so far. Start before you're ready. Focus on the work, not the outcome, and build systems that let you learn, adapt, and keep going. The work you do today is a down payment on the foundation for tomorrow. And the films you make, they're just proof that you showed up. All right, so that's it for today. What's the one thing you can do today to move your project forward? Share it in the comments. I'd love to hear about your journey. And if you're curious about my process or want to follow the development of Quiet Canadians, hit subscribe. And if you'd like to support my work, check the links below to join the Quiet Canadians Insider Intel or just to buy me a coffee. Every little bit will help support this journey and keep it moving along. Have a great day.